so.
Question answered.
So we are here with, who wants to begin?
King Llama.
And you are?
My name is Ryan Bailey. I play guitar.
My name is Nico Staub, play bass and baritone guitar.
My name is Luis, and I play drums for King Llama.
Okay. So how did King Llama become a band?
Well, we all met. We were all playing, I guess, a lot of different projects or whatever it is, and I met him through a mutual friend of ours. We decided we really wanted to start our own kind of whatever band. Who knows what it would be, progressive rock or whatever. And he knew Louis from MI, the Musicians Institute in LA. And honestly, we just, as soon as we got together, it was like kind of like an obvious thing. So that's pretty much how it started. That was about a decade ago or something.
Any other words about the beginning?
Yeah, so essentially I used to play with Luis Briones. We used to play in a great funk pop band, and we had a great time jamming with each other and everything. And I met Ryan through another project that we had in common going on. And essentially, Ryan and I decided to start jamming on our own, by ourselves, and started writing a few songs, a few ideas. And we're like, we need a drummer. I know a great drummer. We brought Luis into the room, and the rest is history. After there, we jammed for about 6 or 7 months until we actually decided to form a band.
What kind of musical influences did you include in this band, this project?
Oh man. It's very varied, I would say.
It is.
Because there's the influences that we have in common, and then there's the influences that we have individually, that we've all brought into the band, into the mix. And for instance, I think we can all kind of agree that we all like, a little bit of Greg Howe and Dennis Chambers combination.
Yes.
We all like Yes. We all like Return to Forever, and individually, to me, I might have a lot of 90s hip hop influence, a lot of Beastie Boys, a lot of the old hardcore scene from Fugazi and Teen Idols and Q Not You and the old East Coast hardcore scene, basically. Whereas Ryan might have, other influences like
More of the jam scene. I liked a lot of jam bands back in the day. Fish was like my favorite band for like 10 years and stuff. But since then, I've always, I have a lot of influence with a lot of great 70s projects, a lot of old fusion projects, like Brand X.
It's funny you mentioned that, because that was like the only band he didn't mention that I felt very strong about when I listened to your music.
Really?
That Brand X was like,
that's awesome.
It jumped out at me.
That is funny, because it's relatively a new discovery for
Sort
us.
of, yeah. I got into them just a couple of years ago. But yeah.
Cool. All right, so how long before you guys made a record?
Well, our first record was made in 2013, I believe.
We released our first EP.
That's the EP, right?
We released the first, it was a 5-song EP. We released in 2014, and it was called Serving the Multiverse. Only 5 songs that are also featured in our full-length album that we released last year.
Yeah.
Or actually, some of them. So our first full-length album was released July 2016.
You want to show the record and say a few things about it?
But this
is what it looks like, right?
No. This one was recorded and tracked in 2000. What was it?
The end of 15, I think.
Yeah,
or
we released it.
2016.
December 2015. Tracked in Los Angeles at East West Studios. Beautiful spot. And this one's called Return to Ox. It's our newest one. It also incorporates some songs that
the previous EP had.
Exactly. And it's great. It doesn't come with the signatures. We just did that right now for Mark.
Exactly, and we have the CD version, and we also have the double LP version, 180 gram vinyl, which comes with the high res downloads and everything.
How would you describe your music when you play it as a trio, power trio?
How much time do we got?
Yeah, we got plenty of time. Let's get to it.
How do we describe our music? The first thing I would say is we never really tried to imitate any style or like another album that we loved. Like, we literally got together and just made our own thing. So like, to me, this band is really special because I really feel like I was able to just sort of pour out whatever's in me, and it fits. So, you know, we go back and forth about a few things. We want to all love what we do, but honestly, it's kind of like, I really feel like this is a project that allows us to be ourselves. So it's special.
Let's see. I guess I'll start by quoting other people who have seen our music live, and some people have said it feels like a Japanese anime boss fight. Other people have said it sounds like Sonic the Hedgehog meets Rush.
A lot of video game influence.
Exactly. It seems like the video game thing seems to be a trend there. The Japanese influence.
Did you perhaps consider donating some music to some of the video games, then make it happen?
That would be awesome.
We're actually licensing some of our music right now for a movie that is currently in production.
Okay.
So yeah, so it, you know, baby steps. First start a movie, maybe then a video game.
Anything from you?
Yeah, our music is, you know, it's very dynamic and it's hard to categorize. That's something that I'm finding myself in conversations with people that it's like, what are you guys? What would you call yourselves? And, you know, we've heard the category prog a lot, and you know, jazz and rock, of course, and we've been compared to certain vintage bands. But in general, it's just we just play for ourselves, and there's no singer involved, so we have the liberty to create the melody and have control of the dynamic ranges, and we write for ourselves, really.
One of the things you mentioned, that there's no singer involved. Was there ever any temptation of including a singer, perhaps, or maybe down the line?
Well, I mean, there have been suggestions in the past. People have said, you know, what if you guys thought of getting a singer, and even like up to the idea, but like we really like the idea of the music being more of an instrumental thing than about lyrics or lyrical content. So if there was a singer, if one of us were going to do it, it would be more along that line. But you know, we just kind of really warmed up to the way we're writing music, and now we're just really pretty much just a trio, an instrumental trio. It seems to work well, so we're not really looking for a singer or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But you know, it's come up in the past or whatever. He sings about 1% non-lyric content on that.
Expressionism.
Exactly. It's, you know, postmodern vocals. But,
now, your name, what does that mean? King Llama.
Yeah, you get asked that question a lot. Honestly, it's kind of random.
It's very random.
We had a couple of different names before that we weren't really so solid on, and we got to the point where we were playing a lot, we were getting fans, and we needed to really make up our mind about something. So it's just kind of random. I believe I was talking to one or both of them on the phone, and we were discussing it, and I was like, it really doesn't matter what the name is, because the music will make the name. And I'm looking this way and I see like a Budweiser King of Beers sign, and I look that way and I see Llama something or whatever. I'm like, it could be like King Llama. And they're like, wait, I think I like that. And then everybody seemed to like it.
yeah, he's like, are you serious?
Random thing.
Wow, all right.
So how are you guys doing about getting this music out to the people? Because there's a lot of great music out there, but being heard these days is kind of a difficult thing to do. So what are you doing to getting this music out?
Well, we're doing obviously all the regular channels of getting it online and playing around. But I think our main focus is literally on touring. I mean, we've sort of been based in Los Angeles for 7 or 8 years, and like since then, a few years ago, we really started touring around up the West Coast, down to Mexico, down to South America, and then we got over and we played a summer camp a couple days in Illinois. Now we're out here. We're gonna try and do Europe and Japan, and like just to spread out as much as possible, because like different parts of the world appreciate this kind of music differently. The scenes are totally different than in America, and like I just, you know, we just want to, you know, not put all our eggs in any one basket, so we're just touring around as much as we can.
Do you see that your following is becoming a little bit bigger based on all the touring you're doing?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, definitely. In fact, we played a local show back in LA after we did the summer camp one, and a couple, like there's like 5 guys that came up to us. They're like, yeah, we're from Chicago. We saw you, or we saw some of your online stuff at summer camp, and we just moved out to LA, and they loved us, and they just came out. They brought us literal Stogies and Juice, which is one of our song titles, Stogies and Juice. And I don't know, it was really cool. I think our music really does touch a lot of people really right here with this kind of music. So.
What do you think it is about your music that people respond the most?
I think we're a cross between a lot of prog and fusion, but we also have a lot of elements that like the layman person can relate to, funk and a lot of pentatonic rock stuff in this. So, but we play a lot of jazz too and a lot of this other stuff. So I think that we're impressive in that way, but very relatable in another way. So really, anywhere that we play, whether it's like a straight rock venue or a punk or it's a metal show or whatever, we still seem to get a lot of
it's different.
Praise.
It's completely different. It's a morph of different genres, and it's unlike anything you've really heard. And I'm not trying to credit that we are the next big thing and we created the new molecular composition that wow, but it's very different, and we come with energy and we execute correctly. When it's powerful, it smashes. When it's beautiful, it's like a feather. It's very dynamic, like I was saying earlier. And without me being in the band, honestly, if I was in the audience, I would be taken away just simply from the elements of the fact that it's 3 people on stage creating such music and the intensity again, and it's hard to pinpoint. You can hear a lot of influences in this band, but I can't. It's never been like one specific band. I feel like in general, when you hear a band live, you can always kind of pinpoint it to another band that it reminds you of. But with Llama, it's something that's like, oh, it's this band, da 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 da, and we're able to put that all on one play and create this delicious dinner for you, so to speak. And I might be biased because I'm in the project, but truly, I've never heard another.
No, you are correct. I find you very unique and original, and if it wasn't the case, I wouldn't be here. That's the truth. Anything else to add about the music?
Our music? Well, the one thing about our music is that the one thing that I can say, at least from my side of it, is that even though it's instrumental, it's honest. Our music is very honest. We try not to fit to a mold. We try not to appeal to a certain thing. Our music is not written for the listener. It's written for us, and we bring it to the listener. And the listener can decide what they like, what they don't like. They take what you want, leave the rest at the door. And hopefully when they come see our show, they get their money's worth.
Yeah.
But it's the one thing about our music is that it's very honest. It comes from deep within us, deep inside us.
So what's next for King Llama?
So probably our next album. We're still composing a few songs, but I think we're looking to be able to record and release that in the springtime. And then another tour, of course, for that album. Maybe South America, maybe Europe. Most likely one of those 2 places, I think. That's our next goal, is to get over to Europe and stuff. So I think that's it.
Also, one thing we're currently dealing with, or not dealing, that sounds like it's a task or something, but our bass player Nico, right here, he currently moved to Berlin.
He did tell me that, yeah.
He's living in Germany right now, and Ryan and myself are living in Los Angeles. So, as you can imagine, it's a bit of it's just a work of balance that we need to figure out how we're going to maintain the project and still keep creative on our time in between our meetings and everything. And so far, it's working out great. And our chemistry as brothers and friends it's rock solid. He was gone for 2 months, and it took us 2 minutes to just get back to reconnect and to get back into the rhythm section groove, so there's no doubt there, but I think out of the distance that we have at this moment, and the fact that we're all so dedicated, there will be no boundaries for us, really. We're really shooting up as high as we can, and we're always excited to be performing, and we perform our hearts out every single show, whether there's one person or whatever, 400, 5,000,
So let's ask him, what drove you to Berlin?
What brought me to Berlin?
Yeah.
Oh man, have to be that guy?
There's only one answer to that.
This is permanent, by the way.
Essentially love.
I figured it would be something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I can't escape those German girls, man. But no, so yeah, 2.5 years ago, I went to Germany to shoot a documentary about fonts and typography. And yeah, and over there in one of the small villages in the southwest near the Black Forest, I met a very lovely lady there. And after 2 years of long distance relationship, I realized, you know what? I don't have a mortgage. I don't have any sick relatives. My back still works. This is business. We can still make music happen and everything. So I decided to take the chance to go there. In the meantime, for us, we can still make it work because I'm still writing music. Ryan is still writing music. They're still getting together. When I write something, I can send it to them and they can work on it in the meantime. And the idea is to meet every 2 or 3 months, so we can actually get this record recorded in the spring of next year and hopefully released by the summer so we can start touring again.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And it's actually, sorry, I just wanted to say it's actually kind of funny because we've always been trying to get out of Los Angeles for a decade or whatever it is and tour around and do this. And it's just funny that it takes one of us moving to the other side of the world just to actually make that a reality. Because now we are touring around.
He's your
We're
link.
meeting in between places and it's I always like to look at the positive side of things, and I think that's a really good positive thing about it. So we're out there now. We're touring around, and we can't wait to play in every possible city. So
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Can you hear this? Are you guys hearing this?
Yeah.
sick.
That's pretty bad.
Only a Reggie's, man. Only a Reggie's.
All right. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.